What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kev here, and we're going to talk a little bit about some tools that you're going to need if you're starting out as a mechanic or you got your own bikes and you want to start doing some of your own maintenance. These are the 5 most commonly used tools that I keep in my toolbox. I'll have some links in the description below that you can go click on and buy, support the channel. And yeah, let's get right into it. One thing I want to mention, if you're a new mechanic or you're just starting out working on your own stuff, is that you don't need the most expensive items that you can get. You don't need the most expensive tools. You will see a lot of snap-on stuff, and mainly that's due to either trade deals I've done. I traded some work for some tools before. Just starting out, I didn't have a whole lot of money, and I managed to get this toolbox with a bunch of stuff in it for really cheap when I first became a mechanic. So let's get right into it. First things first, I started out with this set that you see right here. The ratchets are in a different drawer, and some things are missing out of here. Over the years, I've lost some stuff, but I started out with this. Everyone needs a socket set. I don't care if you work on cars, trucks, dirt bikes, Harleys, metric stuff. You need a good socket set. This one was a Father's Day special. I think it was only like $60. I think they've gone up in price, but this is a Cobalt set. I can't remember how many pieces. It's a Cobalt 154 piece set. I honestly think I paid $50 for this, which is an incredible deal, great value. I haven't broken any of the sockets. I've broken probably every Torx bit, a couple of the Allen keys, but you can bring them up to Lowe's, I believe, and they'll warranty them for free. This thing came with a couple combination wrenches, your spark plug sockets, 12-point deep wells, a lot of standard and metric Allen heads, a bit driver, a screwdriver, a couple extensions, a 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch drive ratchet, and then all the sockets that you see here. Honestly, incredible value for $50. You can't really beat it. I can't remember what the price is now, but the link will be in the description below, or a similar product that I would highly recommend. So number 1, socket set. So number 2 on the list, amongst my very messy top drawer, my toolbox, I'm not very organized, it's my own fault, screwdrivers. Phillips flathead. I got a lot of the Craftsman stuff, yard sale specials. A lot of my tools that I've bought are either used or Harbor Freight. I'm a huge fan of Harbor Freight. I know there's a lot of people that say they're junk. I've had pretty good luck with it. I have a lot of snap-on stuff. I mean, I don't break a lot of tools, but it is a common experience. But definitely you want some number 2 Phillips, number 3 Phillips. If you work on a lot of metric stuff, you're going to want some JIS standard things or screwdrivers. Phillips flathead, a decent assortment. They're handy around the house. Motorcycles use a lot of Phillips stuff. Just overall, you got to have a good set of screwdrivers, or at least a range of screwdrivers. So Phillips flatheads, multiple different lengths, sizes. JIS, like I said, if you do metric stuff, everything will be linked below. Screwdrivers is number 2. All right, so number 3 on the list is a little bit of a multi-part piece. I'm just going to group everything together as hand tools. So we're going to start with your most common hand tools. These are pretty cheap at Harbor Freight. You can pick them all up for, I would say, under 40 or $50 total. I don't know, I haven't been up there in a while. But needle nose pliers will get you out of a bind. They're very useful for a lot of scenarios. Undoing connectors, fishing out a socket that you might have dropped if you don't have a magnet. Most commonly used pair of pliers I have. I even have some longer 90-degree ones. You don't need a ton of them. I have like 45-degree offsets, some longer straight ones. By far most common, this pair that I got at, O'Reilly's, my most commonly used pair of needle nose pliers. Next, you're going to want to get a good pair of channel locks. I just call them channel locks. I know that there's a technical name for them. These are the Irwin vice grips. Parrot nose, I really like the parrot nose stuff. Channel locks, one of my more commonly used hand tools. I have a range of sizes. It's a GV8 by Irwin, my most commonly used pair of channel locks. Loosening up stripped out hardware, breaking loose screws, things like that. Channel locks, one of my most used pair of hand tools alongside of the needle nose. Next, good pair of side cutters. Some people call them dikes. Alternative lifestyle pliers, side cutters. I have multiple different lengths and sizes, but honestly, if you just get one set, a short one, pretty commonly used, get you through a lot of scenarios where you got to cut a wire, you got to strip something out back, cut string, cut zip ties off. I like the flush cuts for zip ties, but a pair of side cutters will do the job. And then last on the hand tools, for someone starting out, these are $5 at Harbor Freight. They're amazing. This is my second pair. I lost the first pair. It's a crimper stripper set, very useful, especially if you're making wire terminations, making your own connectors, making wire repair, soldering. These are amazing for $5. Incredible value. I believe it's still a lifetime warranty. Harbor Freight. Again, you could go with an expensive pair, but why do that? Especially if you're just starting out, you might use it 5 times. It doesn't matter if it breaks on the 6th time, because in that year that you've owned them, you've probably only used them 5 or 6 times. Just go back up to Harbor Freight, get them warrantied out, shop around, use your coupon for a free tape measure, whatever. Again, you do not need everything here when you're starting out. I would just recommend a solid set of metric and a solid set of standard wrenches. So these Matcos I got on a trade, along with some longer ratchets. I would not have went out and purchased these wrenches. Not that they're a bad buy per se, but it is very expensive. Matco, love the brand, love Snap-on, love Matco. I'm a tool guy. I love tools, but at $400 and something a pop, to me, there's a lot better value out there for the money in other spots. If you disagree, so be it. But if I was just to have one set of wrenches and I only had, a tight budget, I would get a solid set of standard and metric Craftsman Professional Series wrenches, or something similar from Harbor Freight. Again, huge fan of Harbor Freight. These are the Craftsman Professionals, 11 millimeter. I don't use them a lot. They kind of stay in the back of the toolbox. But when I first started out as a mechanic, all I had was what you see in this drawer, along with a little set of Irwins that I keep in the truck. So this is very similar to, let's go ahead and get the Matco one out. This 11 millimeter, right? 10, damn it. All right, so 11 millimeter Craftsman Professional Series, right there. Jaws, it's probably not going to focus. 12 point. Now, along with the Matco. The Matco does have a nice jaw to it. It's got a little relief back there. It's probably hard to see. Again, still 12 point, but man, if you set these right there, if I lay these out, all right, you're not going to be able to tell. And actually, the only real difference, in my opinion, is the Matco is a little bit thinner. So, good set of wrenches, metric and standard. You don't need ratcheting wrenches right off bat. They are very convenient, but you can make do without them. I do have a big Ford wrench, some S wrenches, ratcheting wrenches, some stuff that goes way small, my little electrician wrenches I call them. But to start out, standard and metric wrenches, very, very useful as a mechanic, no matter what you're working on. Gotta have those. On to number 5. Now, you might have a different number 5, or you might have a different opinion on this. You might not torque anything, but torque wrench. This is a Tecton torque wrench. It's a 1/2-inch drive. It goes 10 to 150. That's what I find myself using most common. And also, this, you can send it out and get calibrated. And I believe it has a lifetime warranty. It's off of Amazon. Comes with a nice little case. Takes up a little bit of space. But you want to use a torque wrench on those sensitive pieces, those parts, that hardware, just so you either don't under tighten or over tighten something. Torque wrench, very useful, especially if you're doing any sort of motorcycle work, because motorcycles are already inherently dangerous as is, and you want to make sure that your hardware is properly tightened, especially if you're going to entrust your life or a friend or customer's life with that motorcycle. torque wrench, definitely one of my favorite investments are my torque wrenches. I have a couple different sizes. I have a 1/4 inch pound torque wrench. I have that Tecton, and then I have a really big Husky that's at my dad's house that goes up to like 300 foot-pounds. Do you need that? I don't know. Are you working on semis? Are you working on big tractors? Maybe you do need that. Anyway, so that's the top 5, but I got one more for you, a little sprinkle on top, just for my motorcycle mechanic friends and the people that I know that work on bikes. And that is a motorcycle flat jack. So a motorcycle flat jack is something that I used to use daily, and every so often I'd bust one or I'd break one, or the shop would be too packed, so I ended up picking up a couple of these on Amazon. Back when I first got them, they were only like $50 a piece. There will be a link in the description, but that's for all my motorcycle fans, specifically Harley and Metric Cruiser guys. These are not the best on sport bikes because in reality, there's really nowhere to jack up a sport bike from underneath. You really need a set of track stands or maybe like a pit bull that hooks onto your frame and lifts you up that way. But flat jack, that's my little sprinkle on the top. So if you're an aspiring mechanic, you work on your own stuff, you're maybe a young guy or a girl wanting to get into the trade, or you want to be just a little bit more independent, you got to have some tools. And that is exactly what I would start out with if I was going to do it all over again after my 10 years of experience in this industry. I would definitely get a socket set first with some ratchets. I would get screwdrivers, wrenches. I would get some hand tools, needle nose pliers. I get one set of needle nose, one set of channel locks, one set of side cutters, one set of wire strippers, and I would get a decent torque wrench. That's pretty much it. You can do a lot of stuff with that, and as you grow as a mechanic, as you take on larger projects or you face different issues, you can upgrade, you can get more tools. I mean, I started out with just this socket set, just this Father's Day special socket set from Lowe's with some ratchets, and I worked up from there. I got lucky and bought a used toolbox that came with a bunch of stuff, and over 10 years I've managed to accumulate a welder, a couple air compressors, some other things, grinders, big sockets. My big sockets I got at all my big sockets I ended up picking up at yard sales and estate sales, and I've just managed to grow my tool collection up from pretty much nothing over the past 10 years. So there'll be a list of links to everything that you've seen in this video or a similar product. If you don't want to buy off the link, Harbor Freight's, Northern Tool, sometimes even Walmart. I mean, it depends on what you got. I don't think you need to go out and invest tens of thousands of dollars into a Snap-on setup, especially if you've never worked on anything before. If you are thinking about being a mechanic, you got to start small, because you don't want to spend 5, 10, 15, 20 grand on tools just to be a year into it and go, I don't think this is for me. I think I want to do something else. But with that being said, if you have any questions, if you have anything to add, or maybe you've been in the industry and you want to let somebody else know what you would recommend, let me know in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe. Ride safe, ride smart, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.